Hi everyone, my name is Jan Andrew Canimo from BSCM3 Hotel. We will talk about the similarities and differences between Republic Act of 9344 or Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act of 2006 and the Juvenile Delinquency Prevention Act from the United States of America. But before we proceed to our topic, what is juvenile delinquency all about? Juvenile delinquency is a legal term that describes when minors engage in illegal behavior before they reach the statutory age of 18. Less serious crimes committed by those under the age of 18 are usually classified as a status offense. We proceed to our main topic, the similarities. Emphasis of rehabilitation. RA 9344 of the Philippines prioritized rehabilitation and restorative justice for juvenile offenders. And the Juvenile Delinquency Prevention Act of the USA also focuses on rehabilitation and treatment programs for juvenile and offenders. Protection of juvenile rights. RA 9344 of the Philippines ensures the protection of juvenile rights, including the rights to counsel and hearing. The Juvenile Delinquency Prevention Act of the USA similarly protects juvenile rights, including the rights to due process and equal protection. Community-based programs. RA 9344 of the Philippines supports community-based programs such as counseling and education. And the Juvenile Delinquency Prevention Act of the USA also promotes community-based programs including after-school programs and mentorship initiatives. The family involvement. RA 9344 of the Philippines encourage family involvement in the rehabilitation process. And the Juvenile Delinquency Prevention Act of the USA also emphasizes family involvement, including parental responsibility and participation in the treatment programs. And the prevention and intervention. RA 9344 of the Philippines aims to prevent juvenile delinquency through early intervention and community-based programs. And the Juvenile Delinquency Prevention Act of the USA similarly focuses on prevention and early intervention, including funding for community-based programs and initiatives. Focus on child welfare. RA 9344 of the Philippines prioritize child welfare and protection, and the Juvenile Delinquency Prevention Act of the USA also emphasizes child welfare, including provision for foster and care adoption. And also the differences of RA 9344 of the Philippines and the Juvenile Delinquency Prevention Act of the USA. The age of criminality responsibility. RA 9344 sets the age of criminality responsibility at the 15 years old, and while the Juvenile Delinquency Prevention Act sets it at the 18 years old. And RA 9344 is applicable to Filipino citizens, while the Juvenile Delinquency Prevention Act applies to the juvenile in the United States. The punishments versus rehabilitation. While both laws prioritize rehabilitation, the RA 9344 of the Philippines allows for punishment as a last resort, whereas the Juvenile Delinquency Prevention Act of the USA focuses more on the rehabilitation and treatment. And the due process. The Juvenile Delinquency Prevention Act provides more extensive due process protection for juvenile, including the rights to counsel and hearing. And the community-based programs. RA 9344 of the Philippines emphasizes community-based programs for rehabilitation, whereas the Juvenile Delinquency Prevention Act of the USA focuses on the institutional care and treatment programs. And funding and resources. The Juvenile Delinquency Prevention Act of the USA provides federal funding for juvenile justice programs, whereas RA 9344 of the Philippines relies on local government funding. And this is my takeaways of this 9344 of the Philippines and the Juvenile Delinquency Prevention Act of the USA is the Juvenile Delinquency Prevention Act provides more extensive due process protection and focuses on institutional care And RA 9444 emphasizes community-based programs and allows punishment as a last resort. And lastly, the differences in age of criminal responsibility, jurisdiction, and funding highlight the unique challenges and approach of each country. And that's all. Thank you.